What's going on, nerds, flirts, and everybody in between? It's your boy Wyatt, and we are here with another episode of With the BS. And I've got my fellas here with me, and today we are discussing the Black Widow movie, our review. We're gonna say what we liked, what we didn't like, talk about a couple things in the movie. This is going to be a spoiler one, so if you haven't seen this one, don't watch it. Don't watch this. Not right now. Go watch the movie. Then after that, come back and watch this. But before you leave, before you go, don't go yet. I want you to be like the Hulk. Smash that follow button. And then we're going to love you 3000. So it's kind of befitting that we're talking about the Hulk smashing because that was the Widow. Get it? So, all right, before I do any more cheesy dad jokes, 1/3 of the Things People Don't Say podcast. Marcus, what's going on with you?
Man, what's going on? What, man? How you doing?
Man, I can't complain. It's a short week for me. I'm going on vacation here in like 2 or 3 days to New Orleans. So if the video comes out a little bit later, it's coming. It's coming though.
It's countdown to turn up time.
Yeah,
hey, he about to turn up, Marcus.
Man, listen, it's the first time I've actually had like a vacation kid-free since like my son's been here. So that's like 9 years. So I got to make it up.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna come back. Like so don't worry about it.
Okay, that's what I'm at.
Go to New Orleans and get lost.
Man, grenades, hurricanes, everything. So man, listen, I may try to record while I'm down there. That may not be a good idea, but
if you can, I'm about to say, man, keep that to yourself, man. Keep that after 9 year vacation, you just do your thug dizzle, man, and you just journal it. You know what I'm saying?
Put it in the recesses of my mind.
Right.
It's like no.
Memorize the Ryan Stokes.
So Nick, you all right, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm ready to go.
All right. So Nick, you had something funny to say before we started recording. So what happened when you were watching Black Widow?
Oh my God! I didn't know you was gonna make me say it again.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. So I was so excited for it to come out. So I got off work. You know what I'm saying? And told my girl, you know what I'm saying? We're about to watch this movie, you know what I'm saying? And I wound up falling asleep the first 5 minutes. Before I fell asleep the first 5 minutes. That's that work life problem, man. I had to watch it the next day. And then after that, the next day, I had to go back and watch the last 20 minutes because I fell asleep the last 20 minutes. So I was like, I might not need to do the home thing. I might need to go to the theater. You know what I'm saying? And be.
You know what? It would have been even worse if you'd have fell asleep in the theater.
Man, you right though. No playback. You right though.
Not only that, but then after that it gets real cold in them theaters. So then after that, I don't know about y'all, but like real cold just puts me to sleep. Like let's not get So that may be the thing from there.
You're already tired. You go in that theater. You get comfy. The scene starts feeling good. You sinking in before you know it. The credits rolling. This time people walking out, the lights coming on. Like, what happened?
Man, that happened to me one time. I think it was way back, but it was like the Simpson movie. I remember Spider Pig and then credits. And that was it. I was like, oh my damn.
You can't be mad at nobody but yourself.
But yourself, right? You can't be mad at nobody.
I was heated.
Just that work,
man. Mm-hmm. That good old work. After you get there, you be like, bruh, what happened? Where am I?
Right.
So just kind of give you guys his initial thoughts of the movie. How'd you guys like it? If you didn't like it, what was going on? How'd you feel?
Go ahead, Marcus. How you feel, man? How you feel about the movie?
Well, for me, okay, so it wasn't the best. However, I did like it. I say I just initially, I'll go into it a little bit deeper later on, but I did like it. Now I know I saw a lot of people online saying, this movie should have came out some years ago. And I kind of agree, but at the same time, I liked the movie. It was a pretty good movie.
All right. I'm gonna give you a second, Nick. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell my part too. So I thought it was okay. Like I definitely thought that Marvel had made better movies, but I also thought that Marvel had definitely made worse movies. So like it's right here in that middle.
Yeah.
So I mean it's definitely better than Thor 2 and Iron Man 2 and Captain Marvel. So you know what I mean? It's one of those things, man. I just I thought it was okay. You know, I didn't like some of the changes that they made, but you know what I mean. As they movie, if they want to take it that way, you know, we'll talk about it here in a little bit. But you know, it was one of those things where I was just like, okay. I mean, it was okay for what it was. So,
For me, I'm gonna say I don't really have, technically speaking, I feel like it's still a lot of holes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still not a lot of things that was expressed that she did, like in conversations in private with Hawkeye, and they used to talk about missions and things like that. I thought they were going to go in depth with like, what they did in Budapest, that keep coming up, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I just something like that. But, I understand they tried to maybe show a more human side of her. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't, like they tried to kind of introduce Hawkeye as being a family guy, and now they're trying to show her as kind of having a family. So I guess it was necessary, but it's not what I expected, put it that way. I don't think it's a bad movie. I enjoyed it, a lot of action. I think it was a pretty good plot. It was pretty well put together, but going along with the Marvel timeline and storyline, I don't think it fit. It feels like a film movie to me, if that makes sense.
Like a placeholder, like, hey, we need this re-up real quick. We know that everybody's gonna go see this movie.
Right. Right. And they knew we were going to buy into it, and it's like, I feel you, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it doesn't fit. You know what I'm saying? Like they went up totally off the timeline.
So,
I mean, this I would say it's the jump off before like phase 4, and Shane, like, cause you're getting, Shang-Chi is next, so that's gonna come with a lot of action and have some story and stuff, and I think it's gonna have some more stuff in it. But yeah.
Right.
So, what parts did you guys really like? We'll go compliment sandwich. We'll do positive, negative.
I got you. Well, for me, overall, I like the characters they introduced. Her family, from Alexei to, I can't think of the woman's name, Iron Maiden, and her sister, Yelena. Like, the Red Guardian. Like, you can give me a comedy action of the Red Guardian spin-off series, and I would watch that. Like, I enjoy it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I enjoy what he would try to do. Like, one of the moments I remember is like he was getting ready to fight the Taskmaster, and like he turned around. He was about to turn around and tell the woman. Well, I know it's Iron Maiden. I can't think of her name. I can't remember her name, but he was about to turn around and tell her, like, if something happens. He turned around like she was gone, and he was like, oh, "Okay, then. I guess I'll get ready to fight." Yeah, but I like I said, I like this. I like the characters they introduced. They gave us some history. I like the. So are we doing a compliment sandwich now? We go like hit the positive, then everybody do a negative.
Yeah, you hit your compliment sandwich. And then after that, everybody can have their own sandwich. Go ahead.
Okay, I got you. So I like I said, I like the characters. I like I did like the story. I like the action. Now as far as I will say, like I said, it was. I like Nick just said about it was missing. I want some history about Budapest. Like, I want to know what happened in Budapest. What they hit on from time to time. I like that it was missing a few things. Now before we start, did they?
Like I thought, because they were talking about that's where they blew up the building.
Okay. Okay, that's right. You're right.
That,
you are definitely right. Yes.
And they ran away from they had to run away from the police, and they had to stay in
that's right.
in that little up area, in the little.
Yes, yeah. I remember that. Okay, you know what? You are right. Let's take that back then. We go retract that then. I will say, before the movie even started, I called. You can ask my wife. I called the Taskmaster. Like I not who the person it was, but I said it was a woman. And I said, why should they probably made the Taskmaster a woman? I just, with everything was going on, how with the story was sitting around, I just knew it had to be a woman. Now I'm not gonna say I don't like that. I have no problem with it being a woman. I don't like how they did the. I guess I'm not sure. I'm not a big fan of how they did like the explain the Taskmaster as far as why the Taskmaster was how they work, like how they explain how to take, how to, as far as Taskmaster powers, like he has the ability to like mimic any and everyone's fighting style. Like it's split to see. He don't have to watch film. Like he can sit there and watch you fighting in front of him in the first whatever, and he can pick it up like that and go. So I don't really like how they did the Taskmaster or explain the Taskmaster powers. That's something I really didn't like. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. It was fun. It had its funny moments. Like I said, the Red Guardian he was a comic relief, of course. And I like what he did. I am very interested to see what they're gonna do with Yelena, because at the end of the movie, you see Madam Hydra. It's like they're somewhat building for a Thunderbolts team. They got, they can get. You might well say Yelena is a Black Widow as well, so she can actually take up the mantle of Black Widow, and they got U.S. agent. So I want to see what they're gonna do with that going forward. But overall, like I said, the movie was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
All right, Nick, you want to go or? Let me double check.
Oh, you go ahead. I'll go last.
All right. So with me, like you said, I think that there was a lot of action. I like the fact that, like, they did explain a little bit, but I think I'd love to see kind of how Red Guardian got his powers, kind of thing. And then also, you know what I mean? I think that they tapped into a lot. I like the idea that they had like Black Widows all over still. So then after that, like, I thought that it could really be like a story where, she meets other Black Widows and hears their stories and stuff like that. So I was intrigued by that. My thing with Taskmaster was like, I wanted to see more fighting styles, because essentially the only thing that they did was like, Captain America, Hawkeye, and Black Panther, and Widow. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got all these other people that have different styles, I would love to see them do some Spider-Man stuff, and I would have liked to see her have to adapt, you know what I mean, and adapt her fighting style to be able to defeat Taskmaster, rather than just like, hey, we just gonna put you in this glass case and you can't get out. Now the helicarrier is blowing up, and so now I'm gonna save you because you're innocent. And I honestly thought about that too, because like with Taskmaster and it being a Disney thing, they're not gonna let like men hit on women. You know what I'm saying? So it's a Disney movie still too. So that's the thing where like it's just like okay, well I'm not gonna let him hit on them for real.
Oh, now hold up, now I was say the Winter Soldier, when he came out with, didn't him and Nat went at it like doing the Winter Soldier for
he didn't punch her though.
Like,
he choked her.
Right.
He choked her. He choke slammed her one good time on that table. That was it.
You right.
But then after that, she still was like getting out of it. You know what I mean? They're not gonna show, because she was getting beat in the face by them other Black Widows. So like they was teeing off on her. So but yeah, so it was fun to see that. Like I really like that, the fact that she got an opportunity to kind of demonstrate and do more kind of things, and it was having a story from there. But I understand why they couldn't have. I would have loved to see a cameo at the end with Captain America. You know what I'm saying? Or even Nick Fury. You know what I'm saying? Because he's around and you know he's still doing his shadow thing. So I'd love to see something like that. But you know, it does kind of set up for like the Thunderbolts, like you said. I'm kind of excited. Hopefully, they do like an Iron Patriot as like Norman Osborn or things like that. That would be dope. But it's a it definitely, like I said, wasn't the worst, but it definitely wasn't the best. So it definitely had room to grow. But I think they were just sometimes I wish that like they gave women more substance to their story. And so I did like the dynamic though between Ileana and the Black Widow and how she was making fun of how she always posed and threw her
Yeah.
hair up and all the rest
Yes,
of it.
that
So
was so funny. That was funny. Yes.
Nick, what you got for me?
As far as the movie, I thought it had some really good action. I thought they executed that really well. The fight between Black Widow and Yolanda was really good. When they were in the kitchen, you know, they first kind of met each other. That fight was amazing. When they first were getting chased by Taskmaster, and Black Widow pulled that cold ass move where she took the syringes when Taskmaster kicked her off. You know what I'm saying? That was a good fight. You know what I'm saying? So I think even when they were falling out of the helicarrier, I thought that was very crazy. That was a crazy scene. I wish they would have did more with that too, but it is what it is. But like I said, I like the action. Um, I like that they made Black Widow more personable. Gave her, like I said, gave her a family. You know what I'm saying? That was a cool thing to see because she is kind of regarded as one of the Lone Rangers of the Avengers, and you know that she don't have anybody. So I guess they wanted, like I said, to add that aspect to her having a family. It was cool to see them kind of go Mission Impossible. It felt like at some point in time, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, she don't have powers, but at the same time, I have this question like, why are they so strong? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand she don't have powers, but for a normal human being to be able to do the things she do, you know, like take the hits she take, you know, kick people through things, break stuff, land, you know what I'm saying, jumping out of incredible heights. I kind of want to. I was hoping they would have got more into that. I was hoping they would have got more into the training aspect. I hoping they would have got more into, you know, her growing up and going through a lot of things and becoming the Black Widow. But it's kind of like they gave us a little piece of that, and they gave us a good piece of it, but then they just kind of just fast forwarded. You know what I'm saying? And I wish they would have just elaborated on that a lot more, because I felt like they could have really just focused on Natasha. There was no need for Yolanda. There wasn't, in my opinion. You could have just, you could have just focused on her going through her training, stuff she had to go through. I felt like that would have made a better and more dramatic movie. But they made it real, like I said, actiony, kind of a cop-out movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, people gonna watch this, you know what I'm saying? As Black Widow, she finally getting her own independent movie. You know, why not? But I feel like they could have went a lot deeper. They could have really turned this into, you know, a trilogy if done right. Mm-hmm. They could have really made this deep, because, you know, like I said, they went through a lot of trauma and, you know, can't have children. It was so much they did. So they could have dragged this out and made this good. But I feel like there might be a second one. You know what I'm saying? But if not, this is how they gonna give us. And they gonna move on to something else. You know what I'm saying? It was good, but I don't feel like it's a staple in something else. You know, the spoiler was okay with Yolanda, you know, getting Hawkeye as her next target, and we'll see how they translate that. Are they gonna do something with Yolanda now? You know what I'm saying? Since everybody is being progressed into something else, you know, Tony Stark's protege now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is, you know, even with Captain America, now you got Sam stepping up being him. Everybody is shifting. So it's like, I wonder what they're gonna do with that. Are they, you know, she's dead. You know what I'm saying? Black Widow is dead, to be honest. So I'm wondering, are they gonna kind of introduce Yolanda as the new Black Widow or something different going forward?
You know what I thought was funny? Like I keep thinking about Endgame, where Hawkeye was like, she's dead. He's like, well, can't we bring her back? He's like, I don't know. Go talk to that guy on the mountain with the no head. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was all, he's like, just go ask him. I don't know. So that was funny. So now that I want to pose a question to you guys. Now that it becomes like with Marvel movies or Marvel properties, like now they're doing like the miniseries and the movies. Do you think that this one would have been better suited for like a miniseries, like a 6 or 8 episode one, where you maybe got some more of those questions answered versus, you know, just having that encompassing story from here?
So,
do you think that's better suited for this one, or? And did Marvel kind of open up Pandora's box in that situation? Because now I think everybody's gonna want to be like, well, just give them a Disney Plus series.
And see, that's what I was just gonna say. You have to be careful with that. And don't get me wrong, it would have probably been better as a miniseries. You know, you get those 7 to 8 episodes, get in there. But what they wanted to do was, and I'm assuming what they wanted to do was give you some type of history, you know, maybe not her origin, maybe not her, you know, a full depth, in-depth into Black Widow's past or Natasha's past. They wanted to give you a little hit of what happened, you know, what she went through, and introduce some new characters. And I really think her sister, that was the main thing, was to introduce her sister. Maybe the Red, like I said, we may see Red Guardian pop up because, you know, like I said, he is a super soldier, you know, so he has powers like Cap. So he may pop up somewhere down the line. But I guarantee, you know, we at least guaranteed to see Yelena in the Hawkeye series, if not in a movie. You know what I'm saying? So I think what they, like I said, me personally, I would have enjoyed a little bit something longer, like a mini series, to answer a few more of those questions, where they could have spent an episode and a half maybe focusing on her training and through the Red Room, or maybe an episode of her trying to kill the guy that was over the Red Room, like a little bit of that. But like I said, they're going into phase 4, so this is something they had planned, where, okay, well, you know, we're just gonna hit this, give a little quick story, introduce some of these new characters, because like I said, like Nick just said, there a lot of all the older people are moving, not older people, but all the originals are moving on. Cap's gone, Iron Man's gone, you know, so it's Thor. I mean, Thor coming back for Love and Thunder, but like, I'm not sure if Thor's gonna come back for another Avenger movie. So
he's not right. He's not the leader of Asgard anymore.
So yeah, exactly. So
Thor said he gonna rock, or Chris Hemsworth said he wired until the wheel fall off.
Well, this was up.
He said that he wasn't a good actor before this, but like he was like, now that I got a role, he's like, I'm not gonna turn down money. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing it.
Hey, well, if he's willing to come back, like, so you got Thor, so but you got, you know, Sam is the new Cap. You know what I'm saying? Natasha gone, her being dead. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have, you know, you want to come get someone in there along that same lines. And like I said, Yelena is technically a Black Widow, so you know what I'm saying, she can take up the mantle. But like I said, I think they did this was I like what they did. Like I said, they wanted something quick and maybe not concise, but something quick, something they can hit real quick and make some money off of, but give some closure to Nat's story a little bit of closure, and that's what they did. And they didn't want to stretch it out or whatever over a series, but I enjoy. Like I said, I would have liked the series, but at the same time, I understand the movie. I like the movie, and I personally think it did what it was supposed to do: give you some information, introduce some new characters, and give Nat some closure.
Nick, what you think?
I would have most definitely liked to see it as a mini series, and that's what I think this phase 4 is kind of about. We went through an era of primarily, having stuff have to be released in theaters. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't have all the capabilities that we have now. So of course everything was dropping movie-wise in theaters. Now we have tech, we have all these companies that's allowing us to watch it at home, same day, everything, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, with that being said, they should most definitely take the time to make quality products now. You know what I'm saying? You can reach everybody, so why not take the time to go ahead and explain a story? Like I said, it was a good action movie. It was a good promotional movie. It was a lot of things that you could take out of that movie and make into other movies. You know what I'm saying? You could make another Black Widow movie. You can make a Yelena movie. You can make a Super Soldier movie out of the dude. You know what I'm saying? You can even go into a movie with the other Black Widows that are now deprogrammed. What are they doing now? You know what I'm saying? What are they going to do? So it was a lot of that, but like I said, I was watching it as a Marvel fan and was hoping to watch it to get more backstory on Natasha. That's why I came. So I would have really appreciated, you know what I'm saying, seeing, I don't want to sound bad, but like seeing, how she was abducted, you know what I'm saying? Maybe getting a glimpse of who her real parents were, you know what I'm saying? Seeing her progress through that, maybe seeing how she got to Alexei, because she was older. She had only been with them for 3 years. What happened after that? What happened after that? You know what I'm saying? You could have hit this in about 1 to 2 seasons and made this really, really, really good. But like I said, I don't even see another point to make another Black Widow movie. She's dead. It's really no point. Like, and I see what people are saying. This probably should have been done a while ago, and it would have been better received. You know what I'm saying? It would have been setting, some things up. But I would have most definitely like to see a mini series, like I said, maybe about 2 seasons. They could have did the same format as they did with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Not make them long seasons, just make them very good. All you need is 45 minutes to an hour, and you progress and you explain, and that's it. And I feel like they didn't want to do that. And I feel like going forward, though, we're going to see more characters have mini-series versus movies. I really do feel that way. I feel like they're really about to hit the mini-series and really milk this money versus just keep dropping movies when you don't even have to. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to.
I was going to say, yeah, they have plans for, I know for in fact, like I said, Hawkeye's getting a mini-series with him and his daughter. She-Hulk is getting a mini-series. Miss Marvel, not Captain Marvel, but Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, she's getting a mini-series. Like, they even got they already got the actress for Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel.
They've already started filming Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they already got like Hawk. I think they got the actors and actresses for Hawkeye, and I think they've cast it, or they've got who they want to play She-Hulk. I don't think they started filming that, but like that's what I'm saying. They and like you were just saying, like this movie, I think this movie would have been well suited, or would have been better received more so if it came out maybe right after Infinity War.
Yeah.
If it came out or right before it, like even if you would have did like right after Infinity War, it would have still been like, okay, we getting a little bit of backstory for Natasha, You know what I'm saying? And people wouldn't, it wouldn't have been like, cause me personally, I'm watching the movie and you sitting there, she getting in a tight spot or she getting beat up or whatever the case may be. Like when she was coming down the parachute or whatever, you thinking like, oh man, like maybe is she gonna make it? Then you realize like, hold up, she already did. Like this ain't.
Right.
I know she like no matter what happened in this movie, like she gonna make it through this movie. She gonna be dead, but she gonna make it through this movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I say it probably would have been better if they had put this. Maybe this would have came out a little bit sooner than than right now. And I understand they had a timeline, or this maybe even actually last minute, but like this should have came out a little bit sooner. But like I said, they're gonna be introducing a lot of characters through their miniseries, through miniseries or whatever, and hopefully we'll see them in the movies or whatever.
I agree. So like it could have came out like, so minus the end credit scene, you know what I mean? That whole movie could have came out like, say for instance, the what was it? Oh, see, that's what it was. So they couldn't really do it because they were because they had Captain Marvel come out that same time that we should have came out, because Infinity War came out in the summer, and then after that, then they had Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, and then after that, then they had Endgame. So then they had too many things right then and there, and so that's what messed them up from that point. Yeah, that was unfortunate, but yeah, it would have been a great time to have that movie come out like right afterwards. But I think they tried to set up a whole lot, and like I said, I think one of the bad people or the antagonist in Hawkeye is going to be her sister, and they're going to have that they're going to have that whole thing go on, and we'll see what happens from there. But I just think Disney Plus, it gives people and artists an opportunity to tell like bigger stories or longer stories rather than just being like, okay, 30, 40, like an hour, 30, 2 hours. That's all you got to tell the story. So I think I think people want that storyline where it tells you more stuff over time. Because if you look at, even from early 2000s where they had Lord of the Rings, where that one took, those were 3-hour movies, and then there's like a trilogy of those, you know what I mean? So you got a lot of people just wanting to have a complete and rich story, and I think people are really starting to get involved in that. But for the subscription, you take my money to do that, like that's dope. I like it a lot. So, Oh, the only part that I was gonna say was like Taskmaster in the comics is like, even though he is an assassin and a mercenary, he's more of a teacher of all of the henchmen. So Hydra and AIM and things like that. So that's one of the things that I think could have definitely been like talked about, where they could have been able to say, okay, hey, listen, this is, he's teaching the widow, or she, they're teaching the widows now. Taskmaster is teaching the widows, and so then that could have, and so then they could have had Taskmaster like teaching them, showing them different things like that. So it's not a part about her being a woman or anything. I just want them to have, more issues. Like I wanted them to have more like dialogue and things like that. So Taskmaster could have been a woman, but then also because Taskmaster, the more he learns, the more he kind of gets, he loses his memory. So then after that, like the last, the memory that sticks out to him the most would be, getting blown up by Black Widow, and that's going to be her part that keeps it up. And then the only thing that she does is, even with it being Taskmaster, being able to maybe leave herself memos about this stuff. So then after that, she's just kind of fueling her own rage by that.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was saying. Like I say, I don't have a problem with the fact that Taskmaster was a woman. Like I called that before the movie, so like as soon as the movie started. But I just wish they would have done so much more. Like I said, Taskmaster, not only does this Taskmaster like one of the ultimate hand-to-hand, like can whatever, but like the Taskmaster also trains. Like you said, he trains, or the Taskmaster trains different individual, like I said, from AIM to Hydra. Like they train the Taskmaster trains the henchmen, so they know like he, you know what I'm saying. So it could have been that even if they did one scene where they were all the widows were in the red or in the training room where they were, and the Taskmaster would have been in there training, training them. Like that scene would have went so that would have did that for me. That would have did a whole lot more than not having Taskmaster just standing by the side, standing by her father's side the whole time, basically. So
think about this. I just thought about this myself. What if, like, as a little Easter egg, they had like Shang-Chi, like Taskmaster, like emulating that. So then after that, you have different like styles. So like that's the thing, or even like having Taskmaster have like a metal arm to emulate what it would have been like to be like Winter Soldier and things like that. So I think that's where, like, you have higher expectations, but I mean, it like we said, it's not a bad movie at all. So, gentlemen, final thoughts. What anything that you want to get off your chest about Black Widow? Anything that you think that you want to say, discuss, talk about? I know we've been talking about it for a minute.
It's an overall good movie. Like I said, it did what it was supposed to do. I just wish they would have had more depth. You did bring up a great point. I would have thought it would have been expressed better as a miniseries. I do wish they would have gave Taskmaster more depth as well. We pretty much made her a mindless vegetable throughout the entire movie, and I was like, if that's the case, then just show us more of her moving and how she's getting to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, show us more of them squaring off. You know what I'm saying? I think they did good with the few fights that they had, but I think they just added extra stuff, if that makes sense. Like, we didn't need the parent backstory. I'm sorry, we didn't need Alexi. We didn't need none of that. They could have, like I said, they just could have did so much more. I feel the same way with movies like Green Lantern. As good as it's like, you could have did so, it did what it was supposed to do. It was a good act, but it's like, you could have went so deep. Take the deep route. Go the Dark Knight route. And I'm sorry, maybe I should have never watched Dark Knight, but I feel like with characters like that, especially with characters that don't have powers, take the Dark Knight route. Introduce a great plot. Make it deep. Make in-depth villains. Make it visual. Make it long. You know what I'm saying? Turn it into a trilogy. Keep people engaged. These people don't got no powers. Like, you gotta compensate. It ain't no pum pum blam blam. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no powers. It ain't no, magic seal. Ain't no flying. None of that cinemagic. Make it good. Make it great. And I feel like they didn't do that, and that's okay. But like I said, they could have. I just feel like with people with no powers, make that shit like Dark Knight if you can, and you will win every time. And she had the formula. She got the backstory. She got the formula. Like, people want to know. People want to see that. We've been wanting to see that, and they didn't give it to us because now she dead. What are you gonna do now in Phase 4? What? Go back to Black Widow? Bring her back to life? You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do? It's over. The hopes and dreams were finding out what really, was going on as she was coming up.
She did.
Out the window completely.
Okay, there's no other possibility for her.
No other possibilities. This was a really bad teaser, like a really late teaser. Like, I don't know. It just, I don't know. It was good, but it kind of made me upset. They should have been did this, man.
What you got, Marcus?
Yeah. Well, yeah, just that last note. Like I said, this movie really should have dropped this movie. But like I said, it was. I still enjoyed the movie. I still thought it was a good movie. Like I said, they missed on a few things or whatever. But I personally like the characters they introduced. outside of that. Like you didn't get a whole lot. Like you got some story from that and stuff like that, but like like I said, I think this movie was more so to introduce, like I said, more so to introduce the new cat, the Red Guardian, Iron Maiden, and Yelena and some of the other Black Widows and stuff like that. But I like I like those characters they introduced. I can't wait to see what they. Hopefully, we see them turn up in some other stuff. I know, like I said, I know Yelena, she's gonna turn up in something else. But overall, like I said, it was a good movie, man. I enjoyed it, and yeah, that's it.
I tell you what, this Phase 4 better involve these X-Men and mutants, or I'm gonna write.
Look, you might as well start getting your riot stuff ready because
it's not. I don't.
It's some years back, man. Don't you gonna get yourself upset for no
We've been
reason.
waiting on this for so long. Didn't they buy that?
Look,
contract?
I'm with you. Listen to me. Listen to me now. I am with you. I have been waiting for mutants to be done right. Like I love mutants. I do. I don't think it's gonna be Phase 4. Hey, maybe Phase 5, because they have to find. Because I don't want. My thing is, I do not want them to rush a way or make up some concoction or whatever to make mutants real, like to some kind of way. Like I need some well thought out plan to explain how mutants have existed. Because like I said, Magneto, Professor X, like all them guys are old, so they've been here. So they have to find a concise, maybe not perfect, but a concise, good story or backstory of how to introduce the mutants. And it could be through the multiverse or whatever the case may be, but they have to find a way to make sure to introduce them and explain to them or explain to everybody how they've been here or whatever. So that's what I say. I want mutants. Don't ride just yet. Just give them a little bit more time. Just give them a little bit more time. But like I said, I want mutants. I just want them to wait. I just want them I want them to be done right. That's all I want.
If you don't seem too convinced.
No, I know, I feel it. It's just like, we really need to see this because it's like they getting closer. It's just a lot of stuff that's messed up now, like with Black Panther with what's her name dying. I'm thinking they were progressing towards Illuminati type Marvel, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking, and that's why I'm like, okay, we need Reed Richards. You know what I'm saying? I need for y'all to do Fantastic Four right. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things we need.
I agree.
We need to see. Magneto is very pivotal in a lot of stuff in Marvel. He is behind a lot. Wolverine is included in a lot in Marvel across the board. So it's like, okay, y'all making all these people and you getting close, but it's like, okay, it's only so far you can go without mutants. Because see, I believe Black Panther would have been done a totally different way if they could have introduced mutants. There would have been a storm. Why was like, that's the biggest thing. But it's like, now you got to make stuff where you dancing around a big part of Marvel universe. You're dancing around stuff now. You're purposefully filling holes.
I mean, they did that because I was gonna say they did. The reason why that, like, one of the reasons is like, since when Fox had the rights to the mutants and all that stuff, like Marvel started. That's why they tried to push so hard and bring out the Inhumans movie. They had that piece of crap, the Inhumans movie they tried to introduce, or whatever the case may be. Like the television show. Like they was pushing Inhumans because Fox had the rights to the mutants. They were trying to get the mutants out of there or move them out way off to the side. Like even in the comic books, they stopped doing mutants and X-Men and stuff because Fox had the rights to the mutants and the X-Men. So they were like, we're not gonna get anywhere with it. So let's just push them off to the side and introduce the Inhumans. Now, me personally, I do like the Inhumans, but I don't like the Inhumans over mutants. So it's like Like, so it's like, I see what, yeah, that's why I say they got the rights back. Give them some time. I promise you, like, Kevin Feige has not. Let's say this: there have been some not so good Marvel movies, but overall, Marvel basically is printing money right now. So give Kevin Feige some time, let that man work, let that man cook. Mutants are coming. I promise you they're coming out, and I believe he's gonna do it right. With movies, like I said, we got stuff. They got stuff to set up. The multiverse, the externals, like all that could set up, especially the story of the Eternal, not like this externals, but the Eternals. I'm sorry, the story of the Eternals can set up mutants in the MCU because mutants are kind of a low key part of their story. So like they have ways of setting up, but like I said, just be patient, man. He cooking. He coming with something good.
I believe that.
I mean, yeah, he's doing the thing, so we can't really trip too much. But I pose the question to you, followers, readers, viewers, all that good stuff. Um, what do you guys think about Black Widow? So comment below. Let us know how you feel. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you think we're off base? Do we know what we're talking about? Do y'all think we don't know shit? Let us know so that we can be able to talk about it and discuss it in the comments below. But until then, we want to say thank you so much for listening. Like I said again, smash that follow button, and we'll love you 2000. Until then, we'll talk to you later.